What's up? Yep, that's how we're starting off. It's Moped Jet. Why is it called Moped Jet? I want a moped and I want a jet, and that's it, yo. And I'm also pissed, yo. So, beginning of a tradition has to also end, apparently, in this universe and in this podcast, because that freestyle that I did, that magnificent display of artistry and talent and intelligence, really, can't do it anymore. Can't do it because I get copyright struck, apparently. And that's not what we're about. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing today. So yeah, whoever made that beat, first of all, the beat, I typed in goofy ass beat. So congratulations, that's one of the first things that pop up when someone looks up goofy. You should be proud of that, I guess. So, and also you should be proud that I chose your beat. You should be honored that I chose your beat. So for you to copyright me and to try to stop what I'm doing, to try to stop my creative process, to try to stop my creative motion, dude. Now, real talk though about collaboration as a musician. Why do musicians think that they're the shit so much? Why do they think they're the shit so much? I understand having confidence, but you think you're the shit so much. Like, I've done music and do music, but when I say done music, I did it at a pretty high level. Not like I was at South by Southwest, but I was, I was rocking with, I was probably rolling with the biggest act in my city, conglomerate in my city at the time. So I had a lot of run-ins with other artists that wanted to collab with us and shit like that, and things like that. I heard that if you don't cuss that much in the first 10 minutes of whatever you upload to YouTube, if they don't detect cuss words, that they will boost the video. I don't know how true that is, but that's why I'm trying to mince my words in the first half of these things. And this is also how I regularly talk, if you ask my mom. So, but what was I talking about? I was talking about artists and musicians and how weird they are. Like, dude, so many times that people are like, "Hey, you're dope." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Want to collab? And they're like, "Yeah, sure." My collabs go for $100 usually. $100, dude. We just performed to the same three people. What are you talking about? $100. And low key, you came up to me. I didn't come up to you. You're not that dope. So, what you doing? You know? I just got back from the dentist. I just got back from getting my Invisalign. And the funny thing about Invisalign, there's another guy at work, the job I'm at currently, who got Invisalign. And he comes up to me, and a lot of people do this when you have Invisalign, or hear that you have Invisalign, or you just have to tell them because it serves its purpose. And he just comes up to me, and he's just like, "So I heard you have Invisalign." And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "I don't see it." Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. That's the point of Invisalign. I don't get people that are like, always, it's always like that. It always happens like that. Nuh-uh. You had Invisalign this whole time? I couldn't tell. If you could tell, I would take it back. I would stop. It's not serving its purpose. It's supposed to be invisible. It's in the name. It's in the brand. Oh, man. I was getting more new trays for Invisalign, and they just really hand me my trays at this point. It's really a waste of gas and time, and I get up. I gotta get up early for it, so it's a waste of my energy, really. And you guys are honestly taking advantage of me because I'm a punctual professional. So if I'm gonna be somewhere at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna be there really at 7:45. So that's where I was. I was there at 7:45, waiting there, and I couldn't help but reminisce sitting in that office on the time that I was sexually harassed there. Yes, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna out my dentist office. I was sexually harassed at the dentist office, and I don't know if I was sexually harassed at the dentist office. I'm here to ask y'all: was I sexually harassed at the dentist office? So when I was getting my Invisalign in, they have to put these buttons on your teeth, and it's almost like a process of hot gluing these things to each tooth at the spot medically determined by some sort of something. Like they scan your teeth with this weird. The whole process starts out with scanning a mock mold of your teeth with this virtual scanner thing, and the thing is like a remote, but way bigger, and it's more like a little gun with this. It's I guess like a scanner gun, and they scan your teeth at all angles. They dry your teeth off with the tissue, and then they scan it everywhere. And then after they do that, they send those off to these dudes who send you the trays, and then those people send you a map of where these buttons are supposed to go. I see a lot of spiking, so I hope this audio isn't shit, but if it is, Moped jet. And so when they get this map, they have to follow it and put the buttons on my teeth at the right spots, so the Invisalign isn't just sitting there and falling off, and it's actually attached to the teeth, pulling the teeth, straightening the teeth. I deserve a medal for how orthopedic. Is that the right? Wow, medal just taken away. Isn't orthopedic feet? Orthodontic. Is orthodontic a word? Oh my god. I know teeth. Yeah, orthodontic. Dude, I just gave you some orthodontics, not orthopedics. So basically, while I was getting my buttons attached, I got sexually harassed because my tongue, apparently, I didn't notice about my tongue. My tongue, and my glasses look like shit in this podcast, and my tongue, and I just cussed again, and my tongue has a mind of its own, I guess. Described by the dentists doing it. All women, because they're better at fine motor skills. So the office is full of women. And so they're putting the buttons on my teeth. And as they were doing that, I guess my tongue was chasing the dentist's finger or the attachment thing. And I'm conscious of this. I'm trying to, and they even have like one of those metal, that metal, not spoon, but that metal thing with the flat that you can kind of, like, has like a little mirror, sort of. They're using that to hold my tongue. And my tongue, I guess, was not having it. I guess even with that, it was reaching over at the procedure. And I didn't know this. Has a mind of its own, my tongue. My tongue is possessed by the Holy Spirit. And so it reached over the mirror thing. And during that, she was just like, "Ooh, you got a tongue. You got a tongue." And she's like, "It's a aggressive tongue." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then, it was kind of like a little joke. But then the next time, this is the part where I'm like, was I sexually harassed? She goes, "There's that tongue again. Freaky little guy." Now, pay attention. I'm a man. I think it was two women. The one was the assistant, and the other woman was the main dentist. Now, obviously, freaky is like it's not that bad of an adjective, but it can be sexual. Now, I present you this argument. If it's not sexual harassment, fine. And I'm kind of kidding, because I'm having a fun time. But bear with me real quick. If it's not sexual harassment, cool. Is this sexual harassment then? If a male doctor was examining a female patient's body, and I guess I would just be straight up female. I guess that would be the straight up sexual harassment. I was about to say if a doctor was like looking at a woman and was like, "Oh, that's a perky little butt you got there," that would be just straight up sexual harassment. But still, like, I guess if okay, I guess we're up to 10 minutes. So if a gynecologist was a male and he was feeling around in there. Like he was trying to take that clear thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm so medical on this podcast. But basically he was doing his procedure, and then the walls started, not letting the thing do its thing. Plug in. This is a Mad Lib now. So, and then he said, "Oh, that thing got grip." Wouldn't that be sexual harassment? Or just because it was in like the context, it's not? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, I got the best dentists that are humanly possible, and sometimes, sometimes my tongue gets freaky with them, I guess. Now that would be sexual harassment. I don't have any news. I was trying to find something in the news that was worthy of news, but everyone's still kind of talking about that Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson thing. So I couldn't find anything that wasn't sad as shit. There was something in my. Oh well, fuck the news. Fuck the news. Actually, this last weekend, I went up to, and for people in my area, I'm going to use some code phrasing because I don't want to get doxxed. But I went up to the Boorminton Ormal area. Okay, and went there to see Renfield. I went all the way there to see a movie. Okay, you may be wondering, Josh, do you not have movie theaters in your town? And to that I say, oh, I do. I have one 5 minutes down the road. But you know why me and my beautiful girlfriend didn't go to that theater? Because we've been going there for many, many, many years. And people there, especially since the pandemic has ended, talk like they're in their goddamn living room in any movie. You would think it would be like, okay, the blockbusters, the Marvels, the Fast and Furiouses, we would never see that bullshit. But those kind of movies that we had talking, and at least we see indie movies and shit. You know what I'm saying? We just like movies. We see indie movies. Crowd of like 10 people in there. Full-blown talking, full-blown cell phone use. And I'm not trying to be a Darren. My version of male Karen is Darren. And she's not trying to be a Karen. So we're trying to be cool. We're not even 30 yet, We don't want to start complaining and shit before 30. We want to at least hit 40 before we start grabbing managers for the youngsters. But it's just gotten to a point where we're just like, you know what, let's shop around. Because our city is failing us. Our town is failing us. Our town is honestly on the brink of collapse. If society is going to let people talk in the theater, what else will they allow? Sex with pigs? So we had to go to Boorminton Oriole area. And while I was there, we saw the movie. By the way, spoilers, no talking. So we just saw a movie for once. Instead of seeing the back of people's heads and wanting to kick them in, or turning around and me seeing the projector and a group of people talking their heads off, and I wanted to go up there and choke them out. I saw a movie for once. So we might have to go to Boorminton Ormal every time to see a movie. That's an hour away from where I live. But while I was in Boorminton Ormal, it's a college town. A lot like my town, but my town's a college/retirement town. So we have a lot of old-ass people in fast cars, and they go 10 miles an hour in them. And we got a whole bunch of young people in shit cars that go 100 miles an hour in them, that don't have good brakes and fucking rear end you and spike your insurance. Gotta go to court next week. And so while we're in Boorminton Ormal, the college town, we went to one of the college spots, Ippio, which is a calzone place. And people that know what I'm talking about and are from the area, they'll know what Ippio is. So we're at Ippio, and I was just taking in the scenery because I'm like, wow, I've been out of college Not that long, but it feels like forever now. College is one of those things that you do to yourself, and the very second you stop doing it and don't do it, you're like, why did I do it? It's a lot like masturbation. You do it, it's a lot of hard work, but you want to do it. It's normal, a lot of people are doing it. But when you get done doing it, you're like, why did I do that? You know? It's like that. So, I was just like soaking it in, like outside looking in for once, because I was in college for way too fucking long. And so now I'm outside looking in. And I see these college kids come in to IPO, stressed out, mangled. And this is a Saturday, right? It's a beautiful Saturday. And I was just wondering, was I really that stressed? I look like that, dude? It's just crazy, like, when you're outside of something, when you're not doing something anymore, when you're in it, it doesn't seem like all that. But when you are out of it, like, even the kids that were going to events, they look stressed out. They look stressed out, like, planning an event. I know it's towards the end of the semester, so finals are coming up. So some of these people are not even supposed to be out, and that's probably stressful. And that's even crazy to think about, that I used to owe someone else my time and discipline like that and didn't get paid for it. College is not a scam, but college is definitely a process. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a thing. And I guess I brought that up to say, like, as I get older, it's just weird how you get two demographics and you get two experiences that seem so, like, huge and so, like, almost like it doesn't get better than this, or this, it doesn't get, not better than this, but I'm not going to experience something like this. It's hard to explain. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you leave high school, look back at high schoolers, they look like little kids. But when you're in high school, it didn't feel like you were with a bunch of little kids. You know what I'm saying? It felt like you were with young adults that, and adults were tripping and shit like that. It's just a weird experience that I had. Like, I was just sitting there like, wow, that young man is stressing, dude. He's losing hair, that young man. And that's what I honestly thought. I was like, wow, that poor young man. My ass, you know? It's crazy. And I know that when I get a little older, I'll look at someone that's like, you know, at the beginning stages of their adulthood, just figuring out their career. Probably look at some of the new hires at my job whenever I get a permanent place to be at and grow at. Applications, hit me up. I got a biochem degree. But anyway, it's going to be funny when I look at that, like, oh, look at this greenhorn, like, little career guy, you know. And then it's just, I don't know, like, but basically I say all that to say, I get it. I get it, old people. I get why you guys don't change your ways. Everybody is way younger than you, and no one gives a, and you don't care. They're all kids now to you, man. Dude, what was I talking about? What a terrible, stupid way to end the podcast. Almost worse than freestyling. Well, I won't end it that way because I'll get copyrighted. This was Moped Jet. Thank you for listening to Ramblings of an Insane Black Man in His Closet. I hope you enjoyed, and eat your vegetables. I haven't said that in a while. Make sure you check out the Linktree. I'm going to maybe do a show tonight. I've been teetering with it because it's at the place that I didn't do too well last time. And I know you should face your fears. But at the same time, as being an adult, you really don't have to if you don't want to face your fears. You should face your fears, but you don't have to. But I might. I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've been oddly, like, not tired, but I've been, like, in twilight in terms of my energy. Like, I'm not wide awake, not nighttime, not going to sleep. But just, like, today I want to just sit on the couch and play Wii. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wii U. You know? Yes, I still do that. But, you know, I don't know. I'll let you guys know next podcast if I do it or not. If I don't do it, don't fucking get on my back, man. I'll do the next one. I actually have a show that I'm booked on, my first booked on show that I have to do. So I probably, you know, I'll do something before that just to warm up. So, yeah. Moped Jet, guys. Why do I call Moped Jet? I want a moped and I want a jet, and that's it.